Hey there guys, welcome back to BackPocketGameReviews, and today we're going to talk about the trash known as Atgames. So I kind of want to point something out. This is something I did a while ago, and I got a lot of backlash on this, but I kind of called Atgames out on their Sega Genesis flashback consoles, saying they were trash, and they were poorly made, and they had a lot of issues, which is fair. At least, especially from my point of view, someone who grew up with a Sega Genesis, the audio quality is not that of the Sega Genesis. And I know a lot of you don't know this, but the Genesis had probably the superior sound chip of its console generation, and a lot of the audio quality of those games are off. Noticeably off. That's not specifically what this is about, but I kind of just want to give some background into my experiences with Atgames and why I feel this way. I have had previous flashback consoles, but obviously a few years back, I think it was like a year back maybe, they made one with an HDMI cord or plug-in. They were very hyping it. They were pitching it as this awesome thing. It was right around when Nintendo was making the NES Classic. And I called them out. I blatantly said their products are trash, please don't be stupid enough to buy one. And I got a lot of backlash because a lot of people are like, oh, well, you didn't buy one of these yourself, so how do you know it's trash? Well, because every Atgames product I've ever touched has been trash. So, therefore, since I don't feel that they can make a product that is any kind of quality, the one they're releasing now is also trash. This is what it is. You ever disliked a company and felt that the product they made is garbage, yet they keep still doing really well and selling fantastically like iDevice? It's insane. Just kidding. I know there's iDevice users out there. I'm sorry. So, with that being said, I did get a lot of backlash in that video about me saying that without having tried the product. And you're right, you should always try a product, but if a company's made like 10 years worth of products, we're talking 10 years worth of products, they make like 5 to 6 products a year at a minimum, and I've used several of their products and none of them have been good. It's safe to assume that the current product is trash, especially when the only thing they actually changed about the product is, hey, we added an HDMI cord, because that's now a huge selling feature, even though HDMI cords are like standard in pretty much all audio, video, and gaming equipment these days. Absolutely insane. So, Atgames recently sent out a test product to a YouTuber. That particular product that they'd sent out to this YouTuber had arcade ROMs loaded on it. A lot of people got pretty excited, said, oh, this doesn't look like trash. The reviewer actually gave it a decent review. Well, lo and behold, good old Atgames, because, you know, that's what they like to do. They like to be transparent and honest with their consumers. And obviously caring about you is their #1 priority. That was all a lie. It's not. They make a trash product. They could not care about you. They only want you to buy their trash product. The one they released even shows on the back of the box the arcade ports. And then you load it up and it's 8-bit ports. So it is literally false advertising. They're telling you, hey, there are arcade ROMs on here, and then you get it and you're like, oh, what? This is like the NES version. Which makes me really curious. If it is the NES version, wouldn't Nintendo have grounds to sue Atgames at that point? Because we know Nintendo loves to sue people over ROMs, and they definitely love to sue people over copyright infringement. They also like getting sued for that. Happens a lot. Nintendo loves it. Not really. They don't actually enjoy that. I'm just saying it would be some weird form of justice to watch Nintendo go, here comes the ban hammer. Give me all your monies. Now, Atgames, if they did make a actual good product, if there were like a moment where I was like, oh, I'm hearing so many good things about this product, yeah, I'd probably doubt it. Like, there would probably be some mean tweets coming from me. By the way, I've been kind of laying low because of the quitting smoking thing, so I apologize. But I think I'm good now. Like, I think we're kind of through the river and over the river and through the woods. I think we're through that point. So I don't think anything they ever make has been a quality product. I don't think that they've ever been transparent about their product, whether it be the actual emulation software they put on there, the menus navigate like trash, the fact that they lie and go, 80 games included. And then you find out like 30 of them are actually for the system they're advertising. The rest are like cheap calculator games that I can play on my TI-84. I don't actually still have a TI-84, I'm just saying that they're probably games along those lines, which most of them are. Now, obviously we all have a sweet spot for nostalgia, and Atgames has definitely done a good job of capitalizing on that sweet spot. But I really think with the amount of trash that their products, especially within the actual gaming community, people that are collectors or people that grew up with these consoles tend to usually call them out for being poorly made and poor ports and emulation of that actual franchise, game, hardware, whichever piece it is that you have the biggest issue with. For example, for me, a lot of it is the sound. And the controllers are trash. Absolute trash. Whether they're the wired ones or the wireless ones, they don't feel right. The buttons just aren't. I'm big on, I want to feel the original controller. That's part of the reason why I love the SNES and NES classics, is they are those original products. Now, Sega did dump Atgames for their newest flashback console. Sega is currently working on a Sega Genesis Mini. They have not announced the other company they are working with, but they did dump Atgames, and they actually dumped them months before this whole backlash over this. But the funny part is the controller for these lovely ones that they're selling now have a Sega Genesis shape to them. Very weird. We dump you, but they're still going to use Sega's property. Sega probably doesn't still own the patents or the copyrights for the Genesis controller. I would assume they probably allowed those to expire. Be really interesting to go look into that. I could make a brand new Sega Genesis. So, I do find it very interesting that all of a sudden everyone went on the attack, and they did it on Twitter. And Atgames started blocking people, whether it be content creators or actual consumers just trying to ask, hey, why are the ports different? Now, granted, there were a lot of people that dove really hard on Atgames, and that's fine, but the guy who runs their PR team, I feel really bad for him. If you look at some of the responses, just like, he's trying to be cold, but there's like no way you can really make comebacks from this. Like, you are literally being called out, and he's trying to go, oh, well, products can change. They can change from the prototype that we gave out, which is true. Yes, I could receive a different product for review than what winds up on the market. And this is part of the reason why, as a YouTuber, I don't reach out for review copies. It's rare that I contact a company. I mean, we have Ghostbed. I reached out to them, I picked them, I did my research, I chose to work with Ghostbed. I'm happy I did. No issues, no complaints. It's a product I would recommend, and one I don't feel bad about recommending to you. I worked with Squatty Potty. Got a Squatty Potty in every bathroom of this house, and I had Squatty Potties before I worked with Squatty Potty. And I also just wanted an excuse to make a bunch of poop jokes, which I did. And I like Squatty Potty. I worked with the Alien Gear holsters. There's another one. I reached out to them. I don't lightly pick a product and go, hey, I'm really going to talk about this and put my name attached to it and be like, I'm cool with recommending this piece of crap to you. You want to buy these used cotton pads? I'm sitting at the desk and my wife does all her makeup here, so I got a bunch of makeup stuff around me. I really didn't know what to pick up to give as an example for that, so we used to use cotton pad. I don't know what she uses that for. I feel like I should wash my hands now. So, I just think it's very interesting, and I feel bad for the reviewer because it's not really his fault. This is more like an egg on your face, but you can even still see it with other examples currently going on, like with Philip DeFranco and the BetterHelp incident that recently happened. Again, there's a reason why I'm never going to recommend stuff to you like that. If you need help, seek it. Don't seek it from something I can't guarantee is going to help you. Go to an actual trained professional. There are plenty of people that already know how I feel about this, especially if you were ever in my Discord. That has been a topic that has come up before. But I'm absolutely shocked how willing some people are to put their name on some things just for a quick payday. It's weird how the topic of this video evolved, isn't it? A good example would be recently Roman Atwood was talking in a video about how he's changed a lot of things on his channel before just to court like companies that want to work with him. Look, I like what I like. If you dislike me, don't work with me. It's that simple. I have things that I enjoy and things I like, but when you look at Roman Atwood and he goes, oh, well, this company was upset that I like guns. I like guns? I'm pretty upfront about that. When people ask me what I do on my channel, I usually, and keep in mind I haven't done gun content in a while, but firearms, games, politics, I occasionally do get in some lighthearted political discussion here on this channel. Product reviews, tech, I mean, I talk about a lot of different categories. Hell, I even just talked about quitting smoking and what it's like to have an addiction. I don't like to keep it just onto one topic because I get bored, you'll get bored, we'll all get bored. And next thing you know, I've got DSP videos that should have ended before they ended, and you're going to see things on camera you don't want to see. So, and there's a lot of reasons why I try to keep myself entertained, and I try to keep this fun for me, and I try to keep this fun for you, but I also don't want to sacrifice my name just to make a quick buck. That's wrong to me. Again, it has to be a company I like or a product I've researched and I really am already interested in getting into before I'm willing to work with them. And I have to be pretty sure it's going to be an awesome product. And most of the times that I've reached out to companies, you guys have seen it very publicly. The only one you didn't see publicly is the Ghostbed one. I'm pretty sure I originally reached out to Alien Gear on Twitter. I know I reached out to Squatty Potty on Twitter, and they said, let's make it happen. And then we made doo-doo together. Oh, Squatty Potty. So, I just want to always state that as a commitment that I have to you guys. I will never bring you a crap product or a product I don't personally use and recommend just because someone paid me. And actually, the crazy part is I haven't been paid by any of these companies. It's usually just, here's a free product, which I'm pretty much okay with. I would rather them not pay me because then I might feel like monetizationally or like I'm obligated to kind of give them an okay review. Ghostbed didn't pay me, they're just like, here's a bed. Have fun. Enjoy the bed. It's like, cool, thanks guys. Squatty Potty sent me a whole bunch of stuff, including some stuff to make my shit not smell. I know you like to think your don't stink, but that actually works really well. Really well, like scary well. However, I don't always know that I'm sitting down and it's gonna be like a bad poo, so you gotta like spray it in on every poo. But again, I liked them. No payment, just product. They also sent me a really nice Squatty Potty. Like, it's a designer Squatty Potty. Like, I know that seems like a weird thing to say, like this potty that lets you squatty while you make potty is a designer product, but it's a designer product. It's made out of this really nice wood. It's pretty, very pretty. It's like 80 bucks. Then, Alien Gear holsters. Free product. Well, they also sent me some granola bars. So, I mean, I guess if you want to say granola bars were like a form of like payoff for a good review. But they did it, and they actually watched my content. They especially watched the video where I got robbed. And that meant a lot to me. A lot of these companies have been very, we want your honest feedback. This is what we want. And that means a lot when a company does that. And that's, I think, a very motivational and powerful thing. So, just so you know, I will never be bribed. So if Atgames did send me a product, it wouldn't happen. I would turn that down, like, immediately. I would just be like, no thank you. I appreciate it, but I got a Raspberry Pi that can do more than that. I'm good. It also doesn't suck. So, it's just absolutely mind-boggling to me. But guys, I'd love to know what you guys feel about this. Do you feel Atgames is shitty? Do you feel YouTubers show themselves out just way too much? and it's becoming more and more obvious as time goes on. I never have a sponsored video, but yet a lot of these YouTubers I watch, this video is brought to you by... literally every video that I pretty much watch starts off that way. We have an ad, then we have an ad within the video, because you got to talk about that. Sometimes we have a mid-roll ad. I have to find out if they did the really shady stuff, I have to turn off my YouTube Red. I have to sign into another YouTube account just to find out. And yeah, sometimes they do some really crappy practices. So, guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Also, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Those help me get seen by more people and help us grow the community. Also, if you're new here, you can click that subscribe button, but don't forget to click the bell, because the subscribe button on its own means nothing to YouTube. Thanks for watching. I'll have plenty more content coming for you, and stick around.